Okay, guys, we've got one thing that I want you to try to do today, just one thing that you need to try to do. So I'll either be giving you these notes in person or you'll be working on them watching this video. So we're trying to introduce this next thing. So before I give you a whole new set of notes, we're just trying to introduce this, and you're going to have this in just a minute. Okay? We've got some parts of a right triangle. We've got the hypotenuse. Let me get my pen to work here. Hypotenuse, we've got the opposite and the adjacent. So these are the two new things, okay? All right. So here's the thing. You need to understand that this opposite and adjacent has to do with where you're at in the triangle, okay? So imagine you're in a triangular shaped room, okay? So just for sake of thinking about this, a triangular shaped room, okay? So imagine a triangular shaped room, right? I don't know why anybody would have a triangular shaped room. Right, here's your right angle. Okay, this side here is, right, we'll take the roof off, or the ceiling off so you can see down inside of it. Now imagine if you were standing in this corner of the room. Here you are right here. All right. Okay, this corner of the room. And I said, what wall is opposite to where you're at? Well, you wouldn't talk about either one of these walls that you're right next to. They're right next to you. They're not on the opposite side. You'd be like, you'd look over here and you go, oh, it's this wall over here. This wall is on the opposite side. Right? Now, these two walls are right next to you. Okay? Someone write that there. Next to. Right? A word that means right next to is this word right here. Adjacent. Adjacent means right next to. So you're adjacent to both of these. But one of these has a special name because if this corner of the room is a right angle, then we know that this side, this wall is going to be called the hypotenuse wall. So we're not going to think of it as the adjacent wall because it's already got a name. It's the hypotenuse. This wall is on the opposite side of the room of where you're at. This wall right here would then be the adjacent wall, the one that's right next to you. Now, think about that in terms of this. Sorry for the cough. So imagine you're looking straight down on this room. Instead of looking at it at an angle, you're looking straight. So you're standing right here, and here's the top of your head, okay? If I said which wall is the opposite wall, which wall is the adjacent wall, and which wall is the hypotenuse? Well, since the right angle is right here, the adjacent wall, the hypotenuse wall, since the right angle is right here, would be this one right here. This is the hypotenuse, right? The opposite wall would not be the wall that you're right next to. You're right next to this wall that's 32. The one that's on the opposite side, you'd be like, oh, it's the one way over here on the other side of the room. This right here would be the opposite. Orange. Okay? And then the adjacent side, the one that's right next to you, is the one right here. We're going to do red, adjacent. Okay? So opposite. Now, if I switch, instead of saying angle C, if I said angle A, this wouldn't be the opposite to angle A anymore. That would change, wouldn't it? If I said, wait a minute, what if instead of C, get my pen again, instead of C, let's say it said A. Well, now the opposite, if you're down here, the opposite isn't right next to you, right? This is now the adjacent, and this is the opposite. Now, the hypotenuse won't change, right? So the angle, this A, this letter for the angle, is going to be really important. Now, let's take a look at what this actually looks like in the assignment that you're going to have to do. Identify hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent, okay? So let me make it full screen here. Okay, so this is what it looks like for you. Notice, same question. It says trace the hypotenuse blue. Now, I would say the easiest way to do this, first of all, switch it to blue, right? That's blue already. And then it's easier to switch it to line, and then you can take your mouse and go, okay, do that. And let's see if we can make it a little bit thicker. Can we make it thicker? Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay, so you can go blue. So make it a little bit thicker and switch it to the line. Opposite side from C is orange, so let's switch it to orange. Okay. Opposite side from angle C would be this one. Okay. And the adjacent side, the one that's right next to it, red, would be this one right next to C. Okay. So that's how you do the first question. There's 10 of these. This is all I'm asking you to do today. This is the only thing that you need to do today is just this one thing. All right? Thank you.